Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator news and updates. And we have a company that is leaving the flight simulation community. A new aircraft from Flight Sim Labs. Bluebird Simulations gives an update and a roadmap for the 757 and more, so stick around. If you are interested in any of my tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator or simply interested in supporting the channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. Alright, so first up, Flight Sim Labs have released the A321neo, as well as the Airbus 321 long-range aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulators 2020 and 2024. The A321neo is a modern, fuel-efficient, extended-range version of the A321, which itself is part of the Airbus A320 family, as we all know. Now, the cool part is the A321 long range is equipped with extra fuel tanks and allows the range up to 7,400 kilometers for transatlantic long-haul flights. So if you're a real big fan of the 321 series, you can now make those jumps across the puddle from, say, JFK over on into Heathrow. This aircraft now allows that capability. The Flight Sim Labs A321 features high-level fidelity, accurate modeling of both the A321 and 251 and the A321 and 251NX, including distinct fuselage variants, advanced Microsoft Flight Simulator specific techniques to achieve exceptional visual fidelity, so it's going to look real pretty, and an immersive fly-by-wire flight model. GPS jamming features based on real-world interface data, including the latest flight warning computer and elevator aileron computer. So they've gone pretty far with this one. I know Flight Sim Labs has had a bad rep, guys. I really do. I'm going to leave whether or not you guys decide to go that route up to you. You guys can find the 2020 and 2024 on the Flight Sim Labs website for $69.95. Now, the price point does suggest that it is going to be a high fidelity aircraft, as they have mentioned, but we won't know until we test it. I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up as it's a pretty easy transition. That's the other benefit to the 321 series. If you're familiar with the 320, the 321 is a pretty easy jump. So there really isn't much that you have to worry about. A few nuances here and there, a few different computer controls and few programming that you need to do. But outside of that, they're pretty much a very similar aircraft that makes it very easy to go from the 320 to the 321 family of aircraft. So there it is, guys. The Flight Sim Labs A321neo and the Neo Long Range. Golden Age Simulation announces their closure. After nearly 20 years, the aircraft developer announced it will soon suspend all sales. In a Facebook post, Golden Age Simulations announced it will cease operations on June 30th of 2025. Since 2006, the developer has been creating vintage aircraft for flight simulation starting with FSX and Prepared 3D. Or Prepared, depending how you want to say it. And more recently, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. Golden Age Simulations, dedicated to accuracy and detail, gained a loyal following among simmers seeking different kind of flying experience, one with roaring radial engines and the sound of wind whistling through flying fires or wires. This sucks. It's funny too, because I saw this. I was actually looking for their contact information. I'll be making a separate post about this, but I'll also be adding this to the end of the video as well. I'm looking for any developers, by the way. If you are confident as a developer, and this is one of the ones I was going to reach out to because it's right up their alley. As some of you may know, the Martin Mars, or also known as the Philippine Mars, you guys are welcome to look it up on Google, was recently moved here to Tucson at Pima Air and Space Museum. Well, the folks who maintain the aircraft are looking to bring it to Microsoft Flight Simulator as a way of supporting the maintenance and maintaining of the aircraft. So any developers who are skilled and you think that you truly have the ability to make an accurate representation and a well-represented version of this aircraft for flight simulation, please reach out to me direct. You can find me either on Discord, if you guys want. The Discord channel is down below in the description, any one of my videos. And you can also reach me at overkillsimulations@gmail.com. So again, if you are a skilled developer and you think that you can make the quality that they are looking for, please consider reaching out to me. Anyways, they are one of the ones that I was wanting to get in touch with. And it was funny because I couldn't find any of their contact information. Maybe this is why, or I was probably just looking in the wrong spot. But this is really sad. So here's what we got. Their Facebook post. After nearly 20 years of development of aircraft models for flight simulation, it is with mixed emotions that GAS has decided to cease operations, including product sales effective June 30th of 2025. Current vendors, Just Flight, Sim Market, and the MS Marketplace have been informed and asked to suspend sales by that date. I have been ensured that your purchase history is maintained on their servers, allowing access to previously purchased models. Those direct purchases or purchasers from our website will be supported by us. Limited to download replacement requests, so no future updates or bug fixes, things like that. Simply if for any reason later on down the road, if you need to download the aircraft again, they'll help you out. In closing, all of us at GAS want to thank you all for your support and collaboration over the years, and they wish the best to all. This sucks. So it's always sad to see a company shut their doors in general, but to and by the way, they didn't state why. It wasn't very specific. I would imagine it has to do with the fact they were a small team, and it's hard to maintain, man. It's tough. Like just as a content creator on YouTube, it's tough. It's tough maintaining the family life, the day job, and so anyways, that's a real drag. It definitely does suck, but to GAS, we all here at the Flight Sim community wish you guys the best, and hope the future days bring you what you guys are looking for. Next up, Bluebird Simulations has given a detailed update and roadmap for the highly anticipated Boeing 757. I know quite a few years we've been digging at this, but we even have a price at this point, so here we go. So first off, although a release date has not yet been confirmed, the team says it's committed to delivering a feature-complete and stable product when the aircraft is ready. So that's kind of frustrating, but let's get after it. The full package will retail for $80 including VAT, and will include both the 757-200 and the 757-300 variants, each featuring 2 engine types. The pricing applies to purchases made via the Just Flight and Bluebird Simulation storefronts. Xbox and Microsoft Marketplace releases are planned for a few months after the PC launch. So yes, it will be coming, but no, it will not be available on the Marketplace or Xbox at launch date. This is why I stick to PC, man. Bluebird says the pricing reflects the depth and breadth of the aircraft while keeping accessible to a broad audience of simmers. If it maintains the high fidelity that they have certainly been boasting, and by the way, there is a link down the description to a 29-minute video expressing all of this information. You guys can see exactly what they've been doing and hear from the developer themselves. They're on par, and I think that $80 is pretty fair given what you're getting. If you have two high-fidelity aircraft, $80 is pretty fair, especially for the 757. It's definitely going to be a very popular plane. Development is progressing through a 3-phase beta testing cycle. The first phase focuses on core systems such as hydraulics, electronics, pneumatics, and fuel management. A second phase is set to begin in the coming months and will shift to more complex systems, including flight management systems, engine behavior, and landing gear logic. A final round of testing with approximately 60 users will be used to polish and fine-tune the aircraft prior to release. The development team continues to refine the aircraft functionality and fidelity. Among notable features are working circuit breakers, a custom-coded hydraulic system, a realistic feature logic, particularly around bleed air and engine starts. Animations throughout the cockpit have been enhanced, and interactive cabin elements are being introduced. In addition, Bluebird has partners with Boris Audio Works. That's a good one. That's right up there, in my opinion, with Echo 19. Boris does really good audio. To produce high-quality sound environment. That's awesome. With over 215 cockpit audio cues recorded by a real 757 pilot. So, bitchin'. Further details are expected to be shared at Flight Sim Expo 2025, taking place on June 27th through the 29th in Providence, Rhode Island. I really wish that I could have gone to that, man. I'm really bummed out I'm not making it this year. I look forward to it every year. It really sucks that I can't go this year. Anyway, looking ahead, the developer also confirmed active development of the Boeing 67-300ER with plans to expand to the 400 variants in the future. So, much of the core systems and logic developed for the 757 will be shared across both projects, allowing the 767 timeline to be significantly shorter once full production ramps up. Fair, right? They're pretty much in the same line of aircraft. So we have a price point. We know that we're getting 2 aircraft for the full package. It didn't state whether or not you can purchase the aircraft independently or not. Me, personally, I don't think I would. I think I would just want the full package, but, you know, to each their own, right? I guess it all depends on what kind of flight you're going to want to be doing with the aircraft. But even for me, like the Boeing 777, I don't fly the big long hauls. I don't have that kind of time. And I still love flying the aircraft. I have no problem making the jump from Phoenix to LA in a freaking 777, right? So anyways, so we don't have a release date yet. We know at the very least it's in beta testing. I'm willing to bet I'll be shocked if we see it by Christmas. I will. But I also am going to say that Bluebird Simulations does fantastic work. They are very detail-oriented. They have stated they don't want to release a product that isn't finished. And I guess that's the ultimate balance, right? The ultimate balance with these guys is early access or finished. And you've got community members who are on both sides of the spectrum. Some are absolutely against early access. Some are like, you know, like even me, are like, give me. Like, I'll take it. I don't care. Just give it to me, you know, and that's how I am too, you know, but a lot of people, unfortunately, when they'll get early access, they get really angry because things break and you have bugs and blah, blah, blah. So I understand both sides of that fence. So anyways, cross your fingers, guys, hopefully sooner than later. A real quick update from PMDG. PMDG releases the 777-300ER for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and updates other aircrafts in the lineup. PMDG updates all of its 777 lineup and makes the 777-300ER compatible with the latest sim. PMDG has released its newest build for the 777 aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The new update also means that the 300ER is now compatible with 2024. For those keeping track, the MSFS 2020 based 777 products will now be on version 2.0.113, and the 2024 777 variants will be version 2.4.113. All of the product updates can be obtained through the PMDG Ops Center. Keep in mind that version 3 will control 777 across both platforms. Anything below the 777, you have to use the previous version of Ops Center. But as far as I'm aware, the 777 is the only one that's currently compatible with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. If you are expecting the release on Marketplace, PMDG has said that they are working with Microsoft on how to best get them into the pipeline for the best customer experience. There is no ETA on when those updates will appear for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 users or when they will appear to the 2024 Marketplace. The 777-200 Long Range, or LR, is the last variant in the 777 lineup that will be coming to the sim. Alright, so finally I told you guys we would be touching on this again at the end of the video. Here is a picture of the beautiful Philippine Mars that now is residing here in Tucson, Arizona at Pima Air and Space Museum. This is a shout out to developers. If you are a developer or you know good developers who would be interested in recreating this aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please reach out to me via Discord. A link to it is down in the description below. Or you can catch me on email, which is at overkillsimulations@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you guys, and they would love to hear from you even more. Again, the idea behind this project, I will tell you, is to create some sort of funding that would help maintain this aircraft and keep it alive for many, many years to come. The aircraft is in a condition of purely maintain at this point. It will never start again is the idea behind it. The engines are being put back on as we speak, but to my knowledge, the engines will never start again. So she's probably going to be mothballed internally and cleaned up, and you know, I would imagine all of your fuel lines and things like that will be sealed and prevent engine start. So if this is something that you're willing to take on, or at the very least are interested in speaking to the maintainers about it and seeing what the project actually looks like, I have no other details outside of that. Please reach out to me with your contact information. I can forward it on to the maintainers and hopefully get you in touch in a cool project. I think this would be a neat project for the sim. Obviously a very niche group, as it is a seaplane strictly. It does have a landing gear, if you will, but it is not a landing gear. It's a maintenance gear. The aircraft cannot take off or land from ground. It can only be moved via sea and air. So anyways, if you guys are interested, look up on TikTok, Transport of the Philippine Mars, and you guys can see how it was brought to Tucson. She had to be disassembled and brought here by truck, and quite the haul. But anyways, as always, guys, I hope you guys loved this video. Hope you found some useful information. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.